Hey, welcome to Long Distance Sisters.
I'm Tori.
I'm McKenna.
And I'm Serena.
Come chat with us while we're far apart.
Okay, let's get started.
Hello. Welcome. I don't do this part. Welcome to the Long Distance Sisters podcast. Today we have our long distance mother joining us in her humble abode in Arkansas. Her name's Diane. She birthed the three of us. And she was a travel agent before she had children. So we're going to talk about her being a travel agent, her favorite pre-children vacation, any travel tips that she has, and then our family vacations and stuff. Because some of them were pretty unique. Okay, so Mom, describe to us your job as a travel agent in the 90s.
Okay.
What did you do? How does that work? Because it's not really a thing anymore. It's not really a thing anymore, I guess, where I feel like
Mom took me to one when the second time I was going to South Africa to figure out the cheapest flight path.
In the world of Disney, it's still very big.
Right, but I'm saying, like, I feel like it used to be a lot more common because not as many people were as well versed in using the internet.
Correct. There was no
internet.
Well,
Yeah.
there was very little bit of internet actually back then, and I would say as a travel agent, I got to use programs to find the flights and vacations for people before people really had even computers at home. So I really enjoyed the computer aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I went to travel school on a whim. I went to an open house and signed up and started whenever the next class started. And so I worked for a couple of agencies. I worked for a little mom and pop agency for probably my first year. And then my next couple years, I worked for a little bit bigger agency, but still kind of small. And then I went to one of the people who I worked with owned a cruise only agency. So I went and worked there for a couple years. And then I went to a big giant travel company where I did corporate vacations, or I'm sorry, corporate travel first. And then I did corporate vacations afterwards. And then when I had Tori, I stopped working.
Because she was too much work anyway. Yeah.
Did you
And
ever
travel agents don't get paid that much, so
Mhm.
you know, I made the choice.
Well,
Daycare.
That's where I get confused. So you just earn a commission?
No, I got a salary.
But but the people don't pay you, right?
Correct.
They're not paying you like a fee to use a travel agent.
At that point in time, they did not pay a fee. Now, some agencies do charge fees because they only make 10% of the commission that they make from the airlines or the companies is only 10%. So that's like super, super low. So some of them do charge a little extra fee. So.
Did you ever get to go on any work trips?
Oh, yes, I went on a lot of them. I went on a lot of cruises and other vacations, a lot of Caribbean. Of course, I like the beach. So I always chose to go on the Caribbean vacations. So I went to a lot of the islands, a lot of cruises. Probably I have a couple favorite cruises. I did a Windjammer Cruise, which is a sailing ship. And there were 40 people on board. It held 80, but there was just 40 the week that we went. And we went all over the little tiny islands of the Bahamas, played games. You can imagine there's only 40 people on board, so you make friends with just about everybody. And you can work if you want to. You can work in the kitchen. You can hoist the sail, you know, if you want to, but there's no pressure. But the cabins are like one person can fit in and they either have to go into the bathroom or the bed before the next person can come in. The cabins were super, super tiny, but
Mhm.
I also went on a Panama Canal cruise, which was probably one of my other favorite cruises, and that stopped in Cartagena, Colombia, and Costa Rica. So I enjoyed those. And
I didn't know you went there.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, you've been to the Panama Canal. That's cool.
And I went on the Disney cruise before it was the Disney cruise, but it was still had Disney characters on it. But it was another company that owned the ships, and Disney just
Like contract.
So you got a lot of perks, and Dad also got those perks, or at least
once we were married or almost married, then he did too. And we did 2-week honeymoon in St. Lucia, and we stayed at 2 different resorts there. So that was a lot of fun. And let's see, we also went to some other islands in the Caribbean and stuff. So.
Well, you knew which ones were the best by that point.
Or just had the goal to get to most of them.
And then, so how did you like plan a trip?
Yeah, like how detailed would you get sometimes?
For customers?
Mhm.
Well, it depended. Some things I would say the thing that I hated planning the most was a Disney trip. Because now this is going back, pretty many years, but everybody who went to Disney needed to be treated like a brand new traveler. Like you had to hold their hand and explain every single thing, to them.
Mhm.
Where people who were like, oh, I want to go to England and I want to fly on the Concorde, you were like, okay, I'll make that happen, and here are your tickets. For Disney, it's a process.
Oh my God.
But anyway, I'm glad that's over with, because now I love Disney. But so we could plan things from, like I said, I had people went on the Queen Elizabeth, the QE2, and you could plan things all the way down to the chair that they sat in at the pool.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
That's crazy.
So that was very detailed, but it was very cool to do that, because there is nothing else like the service that you got, on
Yeah.
that.
I bet that must be so nice to just have like every single thing planned.
Yeah.
And you just
And
roll.
the cruises back when I was an agent, they really were different. The cruise ships were different. They all had their own themes and their own thing going, and certain ships were better for certain things. And a lot of that is true now, but it seems like everything has come in and streamlined. Like the ships are very similar, and they do the same routine itinerary, and it seems like the majority fit into this one bracket. But there are still elite cruises and stuff out there.
Very cool. And then, so what tips you got that still work today, 30 years later?
Well, it used to be that if you were flying somewhere, if you travel and stay over a Saturday night, your fare would be less. A lot of airlines don't do that anymore. They just have like separate one-way fares instead of a separate round trip fare. But if you buy your tickets on a Tuesday, and if you travel on Tuesday and Wednesday, those are your least expensive days to buy and to fly. And I would say if you, the longer you know where you're going, for instance, if I knew that somebody was going to fly on Thanksgiving, and I would check like the airlines, let's just say Southwest, and say, when is Southwest next release date? And if you can find that on Google, it will tell you when they're going to release the next block of dates. So you can be on there the first day that they come out, because that is going to be the best price. So as far as like the mileage frequent flyers, I don't really see them doing a whole lot. Of course, it depends. We flew Qantas, and of course those are super long flights, so we actually did get some benefits to that, but we flew a lot. So
When we were flying from America to Australia and back, you flew Qantas.
Correct. So we did end up getting a little bit of a benefit from that, but I would say majority of the time that really doesn't play in.
I remember we went to Perth, right?
Correct.
Frequent flyer miles.
We still paid some, but you could do points plus cash, you know, with Qantas.
It's probably more now, like if you have the associated credit card or whatever, you're gonna see a lot more benefit with that kind of thing. But who wants to pay a credit card fee? Not me.
Right.
What about like becoming a member of like a hotel or something and getting points like Marriott or Hilton?
I do have a couple memberships in the hotels, and I try, when I'm searching for where to stay, I always look up the brand that I have first, because they have a lot of different categories. So I'll look, you know, different price ranges. So I will look at that first, and if I don't find one that fits my parameters, or you know, if there's something closer to where I want to be, I don't hesitate to book outside of that. But you do get some fairly decent perks with the hotels.
Do you have to pay for those memberships like Costco?
No, frequent flyers, the hotel memberships, that's all free.
Oh.
They just give you points, and then you use the points towards purchase.
So why don't, like, can't we just sign up for that anyway? And like when we do fly those airlines, get those points?
Yes, of course. You never know when you're gonna, you know, take a big flight. In fact, we still have the Qantas frequent flyer, and if you fly on, I believe, United, they take Qantas frequent flyer. So I usually put Qantas in because I know that we got pretty good benefits. But the drop down menu, when you put in your frequent flyer number, will tell you. Then you can pick and choose.
And I guess the difference is, like, if you choose kind of one like hotel brand like Hilton or whatever to focus on, you're gonna stay with Hilton more often, so you're gonna build up those points. Versus having a membership everywhere and just staying wherever, you're not going to build up points as quickly at any one place to actually use them, you know?
Yeah. Personally, I want to build up at Marriott because they own the Swan and Dolphin to stay right next to Epcot for way less.
You just have to kind of figure out which ones, you know, you like. I mean, you can have many, but then it's hard to get up to they usually have different tiers. So it's hard to get further along in the tiers if you're spread out over, you know, 5 different brands or something like that. But
it's like having a Starbucks and a Dunkin' app on your phone.
Exactly.
Okay. You're speaking my generation. I gotcha. What was your favorite vacation before us?
Before I had kids? We went to, Dad and I went to Germany, France, Switzerland, and Austria.
Wow.
That has to be one of the best vacations. We had a lot of variety: city, country, mountains, you know, river. You know, we did a lot of things on that vacation, and it was a lot of fun and great to see the different countrysides. And
yeah, how much of that did you plan, or was it more spontaneous than that?
It's mother.
I know, but that's why I'm asking how much.
Well, that trip we actually had it all planned.
Okay.
Wow. So we had of course, our air plan. We got the train tickets, the rail tickets. And then we did have each night was pre-booked at the hotels. So that was booked. But the year after that, we went to England, Scotland, and Wales, which was another big trip that we loved. And for that one, we didn't have anything planned. We rented a car so we could come and go as we wanted. But then we did a bed and breakfast package where you prepay for it, but you just call ahead that day to see where you're going to be the next, that night, and find your bed and breakfast that way.
Oh,
So
that's
we could, if we liked where we were staying,
Mhm.
we were in Glasgow and liked where we were staying, we could stay there another night.
Yeah. Oh, that's
But
very
I mean, we just kind of had the map and we marked out roughly say 10 nights and what should get us in the circle,
Mhm.
so that we could see what we wanted to see. But
Very cool.
Wow.
that's we did a family vacation to Ireland a couple years ago, and that's what we did with the Ireland is we
Mhm.
got a map of the country, mapped out the circle, came up with how many nights we would need, and kind of just went from there.
Mhm.
We did book for Ireland because that was we did a lot of neat places to stay there, so they had to be booked.
Very cool places to stay in, definitely.
Yeah.
Wish we could have stayed longer in each of the places because they were
I think we needed
singular.
twice as long, but I mean, I think you probably think that every single vacation you take.
Yeah, very true. But like I'm just so many of those places were just like either so old or they were like a castle or they were like right in the middle of this, beautiful area, and it was very cool, very unique.
I will
Right
say
in
the airfare is one of the more expensive
Mhm.
parts to your vacation. So we always try to stay a little longer
Mhm.
than just like a week. A week
Yeah.
just doesn't. A week anywhere is not enough. So we try to go 10 days, 2 weeks,
Mhm.
16 days, whatever we can to, stretch it out just a little bit longer.
And if you're traveling on like the typical like week, you pull up to your rental on Saturday and you leave the next Saturday or whatever, then that's your weekend is spent traveling instead of enjoying the place where you're staying. And so it's kind of like
Yeah. So sometimes what we've done in that instance is we travel on Friday, stay at a hotel, Saturday morning, get up, do our shopping, go to our rental, and kind of we've already got the big travel day done, and we've kind of like set ourselves up for a good week in our dead time.
Yeah. Did you ever have customers who were like, or clients who were just like, I just want to go to Italy and you just plan it all for me. I don't care what I do. I just want to go to Italy or something like that.
I would say not really. Back then, everybody had brochures. Every travel company had brochures. So somebody would come in and say, I want to go to Italy. You would say, ask them a couple questions like, how long, how do you want to travel, how much do you want to spend, blah, blah, blah. And then give them the appropriate brochure, and then they would take it home and then come back.
Okay.
And tell you what you wanted to do.
And then, so your agency made money by like recommending the clients use these hotels or these airlines, and then those hotels or airlines would give money to your agency for recommending them. Okay.
But we were unbiased to which hotels and stuff. We didn't just pick one.
Yeah. Okay. Now what do we want to talk about?
Wow.
I'll give you a tip on traveling airfare right now. What I do is I will Google flights from Philadelphia to Boston, okay? And then if you move down a little bit, it's going to give you a grid, and it's going to say American and Delta fly nonstop, and United and Southwest fly with a connection. And so I will then go to the first 2 airlines that fly nonstop and look up their flights first.
Mhm.
So I kind of do a little homework in finding out what airlines fly that route, and then go into each individual airline to get, find the flight and the fares that work. So it does take a little bit of time. You gotta either write it down or have a good memory, but,
Yeah.
but when I was a travel agent, all that popped up right on one screen. You had so much information, and now
Now it's everywhere. And
I have to piece it all together. It was so much easier 30 years ago.
it is a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
Just have like 20 different tabs open on your computer.
Yeah. And then they time out, so
Yeah. Your laptop restarts. You're like, no.
I remember the most memorable family vacation to me, I think, was when we went to Canada. And Mom did this like amazing race thing with us. And so we would, since there are 5 of us, 3 kids, Mom and a dad, we would split into 2 teams. One was like a dad and child, and the other was the other 2 children. And then Mom would like supervise the team of just children. We go around doing fun stuff. Like we did Maid of the Mist and just see who could get to the meeting place the fastest. And sometimes we were at the same spot at the same time. Like we all tried poutine together or whatever. But I just remember that was just such a cool concept. And we like switched up the teams too. And I was thinking the other day, I was wondering if maybe having us spend some time apart from some family members reduced fighting on the trip because we weren't constantly with everyone.
Well, we were also like children.
Yeah. And like the reason that she did that was because we were all like, ew, Canada, that sounds boring. Why are we going to Canada?
yes.
But we
When I told you girls we were going to Canada, all 3 of you rebelled, and I was like, oh no, nobody wants to go on vacation. And isn't that funny? That is what you love the most.
Yeah. Well, because we just loved the Amazing Race. That was a big thing.
How'd you come up with like all the ideas for that?
Well, I knew that when you guys all didn't want to go, I was going to have to make it fun for you. So what I did is I pulled up walking tours for all the cities that we went to. And so if it said, start your tour in the square and notice this picture, mural painted, I would say, find such and such a square, locate this mural and take your picture with it. And then the next stop on the walking tour would be like, oh, there's a great coffee shop here. Stop at this coffee shop and buy donut, whatever,
pastry.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And so I just followed the walking tour. So it's kind of cheating, but whatever. You girls had no idea.
And we had a lot of car activities.
Yeah.
Like we had the scavenger hunt in the car.
Right.
Which was good.
I mean, honestly, Mom, you could make a little Etsy shop and sell those little things.
Oh,
for different cities. People.
Well, all the clues came like in envelopes, and it was like on a postcard that you pulled out, and I had them all decorated and stuff, and I forget what I was.
And then the winner got to pick where we ate dinner every night.
Oh, was that the prize?
That was the prize. You probably had a choice of like 2 or 3 places, and then the winner picked
wherever there was poutine.
So the poutine, I was on there, and it said, find a place that has poutine and eat the whole thing. Like that was the eating challenge, right? And I thought that it was going to be hard to get down because I thought you guys were not gonna like it. And then when everybody loved it, I was like, wow, that surprised me
That was not a challenge at
I feel
all.
like we ended up getting poutine like
a lot.
before we had the clue about eating poutine. So then when we got the clue about eating poutine, we were like, awesome.
No, we had poutine a lot after that, but that
Mhm.
was the first time.
I remember when we were like leaving Canada and we were like, we have to stop somewhere and get poutine before we exit the country or something like that.
Yes.
At like
yeah.
some random diner.
Well, because we left at the last, real quick because it started to rain.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah.
every single day.
I was so tired of rain and
Yeah, because it was
And we
supposed
hit
to
up,
be.
we hit up Lake Placid on the way home instead.
Yeah, well, it
which
was
was
supposed to.
fun.
It was supposed to be like 3 weeks, but then like our tent was getting, destroyed and the weather and.
well, they had 30 days of rain and we happened to be there during that 30 days
Mhm.
and it just rained every day. And the last day, the sun came out and we thought, oh, this is fantastic. It's going to be a great day. Do we want to do, I think our choices were hang gliding, golf, or something else. And we decided to go golfing. And just as soon as we said, okay, girls, let's go, the skies opened up and it poured rain. And I was like, pack up the tents, we're leaving. Not even pack up the tent, throw it all away.
Yeah,
I
it was
never
a good
camping
point.
We
again.
threw away our tent, yeah.
Yeah. Well, by then it was so wind damaged and
Yeah.
Isn't that the trip where we did go hang gliding, but like on like a line?
no, that was
That
it.
was Australia.
Oh, but we did one
Zip
thing.
line.
Yeah, one thing I
Yeah.
wanted to point out about this trip, I guess as like a tip for family vacations, is that the place we went ziplining, I'm not sure if mom made sure of this, but there was also a children's course since Serena and I weren't tall enough to do the adult course. So like if you want to do something adulty but you have smaller kids, you can see if there's a children's activity there too.
And I think that's pretty common for most zip line courses is to have one for kids. I have a tip for traveling with your family.
Oh boy.
So we're 3 children. And so if we were in whether one of our cars, just like a 4-door or a rental car, you just have the one back seat. So you're all sitting in a row. And the middle seat, no one wants the middle seat. However, when we went to Ireland, and I think I did this in Kangaroo Island, maybe too, I can't remember. But I was like, I'll take the middle seat if that means I get my own bed tonight. If that means you two at the windows have to share. And so worth it. It was great. It was great. I was like, you know what? I'd rather have my own bed.
I thought we like rotated all that.
I think Kangaroo Island we rotated, but I think Ireland, I sat in the middle the whole time. Unless we were just driving like 15 minutes to dinner or something, then maybe you guys popped in the middle. But I think for Ireland, I sat in the middle the whole time because I was like, I want my own bed. So yeah, that's my tip.
Yeah, or you get the bed and I get the floor. You and Tori share the bed and I get the random couch or floor.
No,
cushion.
I shared beds with Tori my whole life because you two can't get along. Okay, it's my turn to sleep on the floor.
I shared a room with, well, but sometimes I was like not on a bed at all.
Yeah, sometimes you were just, but that was also to your own
That was probably your choice.
choice. There have been plenty of
Yeah,
times.
I'd rather be on an uncomfortable cushion by
Yeah.
myself.
Like there, when we were in Ireland for one night, we slept on the same bed, but like the turned 90 degrees.
Oh,
So we all
yeah.
fit. And I
Mhm.
just, at that, I was like, just don't put me in the middle. I just want one of the sides. If I can't have my own bed, just give me a side.
Yes.
Mhm. I remember when we went on the cruise for Nana's birthday, our mom planned our own excursions instead of going on the cruises excursions. Was that like cheaper or did you find more flexibility with that?
Well, there were a couple factors there. yes, of course, family of 5, it was much cheaper to do the excursions on our own, even taking a taxi and stuff to do them. But there's a lot of stuff that you can do in walking distance. And the plus for us was timing. Like if we were ready to go, as soon as we could step off the ship, then we could get there before the crowds, before all the cruise ships unloaded, thousands of people for the day. So for instance, we did the dolphin discovery, and we got off right away, took a taxi over there. We did the whole dolphin thing. And as we were leaving, here comes all the cruise ship people. So we got much better service doing it on our own. But, you have to look at timing. And what we did is we planned that for farther away. And then we did some stuff that was closer to the ship, so that just we would have that leeway in time. So we were sure not to be far away at the time the ship was departing. So
yeah.
And it was on that trip that Mom stepped on a sea urchin while snorkeling, and she claims that peeing on it does not help.
No, it's definitely a myth. We already talked about this.
I think we talked about it on the episode.
Yeah. But no, Canada was a great trip. I was very young, so I don't remember protesting it. Although I remember getting so many mosquito bites because it's Canada in the summer, and that just killed me. I couldn't.
I remember when we stayed in a cabin for a couple nights.
Yeah,
that was a really cool cabin. We played penny poker.
No, yeah, I'd be down to go back to Canada again.
Yeah. I want to go back to like Montreal.
It's beautiful.
No, I want to go to like Prince Edward Island or something.
I want to go to Banff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and British Columbia.
Yeah. Oh, way other side.
Yeah. I don't know. We've had a lot of good vacations.
We've been very, very lucky.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of them were within the US, which is cool. Like we've seen a lot of the country. Like we didn't have too many international trips. I mean, obviously we lived abroad and stuff, so like that was its own thing, but like we saw a lot of the US, when I think a lot of other people were just like go to the Caribbean like repeatedly or something, and they didn't really experience a variety of things.
Yeah, always go to the same beach in Florida.
Right.
Yeah. You don't have to leave the country to see cool things. There's a lot of cool things to see within the States. Like
I always tried to alternate because your dad likes trees. He likes his tree vacations, and I like the beach. So we tried every other year. 1 year tree vacation, 1 year beach vacation, and we alternate it.
You should go to Redwoods and just do both. Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
But I liked our Acadia trip.
Oh,
and Cape Cod was fun.
Oh, I forgot about Cape Cod. That was fun.
When we were in Savannah, I think that was part of another trip, but when we were in Savannah, that was
Tybee. We went to Tybee Island.
Well, no, we went to
that
Savannah.
Was another time.
We went to Savannah when we were way younger too. We had
when we went to Juliet Gordon Lowe's house. Go Girl Scouts.
Yeah. We probably did Savannah on our way back from Florida 1 year.
Yes.
Yeah. The 2010 year, I think, when we went to Florida for a long time.
I remember we had that one North Carolina trip where like our grandparents were there with us. That was a lot of fun. We stayed in that house.
The Outer Banks.
And then we also did South Carolina.
We did Seabrook Island.
Oh, yeah.
That was a lot of fun. And
that was a nice long vacation.
That was like, we saw I guess a palmetto bug was in our kitchen or something, and Mom put a cup over it. And I remember being with Tori like, oh, like it's under this cup. Like, how big is it? I don't know. And she like picked it up and we were like, oh my God, it's huge.
I don't remember that.
We like covered it back and we're like,
if you're listening and you don't know what palmetto bug is, it's basically like a larger flying cockroach.
It's disgusting though.
Yeah. But that was the only one that was there.
Yeah. Our trip to Michigan, like all around Michigan, Mackinac Island and everything.
Binder Park Zoo.
Serena was real little.
What are you talking about?
That's when we camped out of the zoo for the night.
Uh-huh.
Remember that, Serena?
The
Yeah.
giraffes? We fed
Yeah,
giraffes?
the giraffes.
Okay, I remember that.
You were real little. You were like 2 or 3, Serena.
Oh, early memory. All right.
You probably just saw pictures.
That was Serena. That was the
That was
trip when
fun.
you drove the car naked. You sat on Dad's
A lot of
lap
trips.
naked. And you were driving the car.
And then my favorite spot to always go, well, not always, but we went a few times, is Assateague Island, where you can camp on the beach and there's wild horses and there's just like lots of fun stuff to do on the island and like little like, I don't know, learning centers where you could go
Yeah.
and like hold horseshoe crabs and all that kind of stuff. And we went crabbing and always fun.
Like when we went to Tybee Island off the coast of Georgia a few years ago, and our Nana and Poppy came with us. And we did like an ecology thing one morning.
Yeah, like a walk.
That was
yeah.
really fun. That was cool. I enjoyed that. More than like a museum. I like doing stuff like that more than museums. I don't know.
I agree.
I always try to find something that, you know, would interest you girls. We almost always did something ecology wise, like Cape Cod, we went to the Woods Hole.
Right.
You know, we always did the boat tours where they, you know, caught stuff in a net and then they would bring it up and show you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that kind of stuff always interested all 3 of us, and definitely Dad and Mom
Yeah.
too, just because you like the water and like beach life, so you like learning about it. So that was
Definitely influenced
our-
Serena career-wise.
yeah. I thought it was gonna be my career for a long time. When I was in stream watch in middle school.
Every kid wanted to be a marine biologist at one point.
Yeah.
So it's pretty interesting. But then
Now-
Australia was like a whole vacation in itself.
We just took the opportunity to go to a bunch of places around the country.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, those were definitely some of probably the best trips we'll ever take in our lives. Like the Great Barrier Reef.
That was
went like
awesome.
multiple times, I think, and
Road trip around Tasmania,
Tasmania, the Great Ocean Road.
Oh yeah, there's a
Lizard
tip.
Island, Fremantle.
I do. Oh,
If you have more than 2 people, don't rent an RV.
Well, it's better than being in a car.
I don't know. I think it would have been better in a car.
Oh, because of the roads.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
yes.
like we were motion sick a lot.
Mhm.
That's
all of
true.
us.
And here I thought with the RV, the girls can sit in the back at the table, play games.
Mhm.
We did. We played our lip sync game with our iPods.
Oh yeah.
It was nice, like that we didn't have to like set up a tent every night and stuff, but
Yes.
And
It
we
was
could
nice
just
to
park
see.
a random place and
or like pack and unpack. Like we,
Mhm.
it was just all there. But
Yeah. We didn't need.
I
like,
don't
a
remember
plan.
getting motion sick.
maybe you didn't. I definitely did.
I mean, I remember just sitting in the back. I mean, probably just bored, but I would have been bored in the car. So
It was bumpy. It was boring. We didn't really have good radio because it
Oh,
was
yeah.
mostly- and it was Tasmania.
Mhm.
So we sang the same song the whole time.
But oh, that's true.
Sitting on
Sitting on
the
the
dock
dock.
of the bay.
But Australia is such a unique place to travel in because the US is so commercial and there are signs everywhere being like, don't go here, trespassing, blah, 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 blah. Whereas in Australia, so much of it is like you can kind of just wander and just come across really cool things. Like we went to that winery once and right across the street from it was this like huge like thing of mud flats in this dock, and like we were just like, oh, let's go take a walk down it. Like, why not? And all the crabs were out, and it was like, I don't know, you couldn't do that in America.
Yeah,
think
and
that
just
was
like
a
a
point
bunch
for
of different, just a bunch of different types of places to visit too. Like you still got city, mountains, but you got rainforest, obviously Great Barrier Reef, so big coral reef,
Beaches,
so beach, just all kinds of different things.
islands.
the desert.
Yep.
Yeah. The only thing I feel like I wish we did more in Australia was explore the other cities a little more. Like we definitely hit up some, but like I don't feel like we really went to Melbourne or anything like that. So Melbourne.
We could have skipped Canberra.
Yeah, like we didn't
Oh, we
go
didn't
to
Canberra.
Brisbane, but we went to Australia Zoo right outside of Brisbane, which is like the Irwin family zoo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
Cool.
Yeah, we
That was
saw Bindi Irwin feeding crocodiles, and she was still training to feed
And
crocodiles.
Robert.
Love Robert
Robert.
And their mom.
and their mom feeding the
And we fed
I
elephants.
know her name.
I remember that. Got
Um,
elephant snot all over our hands.
no, that was our part of our Great Barrier Reef trip, and that was on Sunshine Coast. That was really cool. That was the trip of frolicking.
Frolicking.
That
Yeah.
was the trip of frolicking.
Sarina.
Of course, I wore the same outfit in every single one.
Yeah.
Frolicking. Okay, let me put on this outfit.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, frolicking is what Serena and I called it when I would make her run and jump around in a pretty location. I would take pictures. We thought it was so cool.
It is cool. What are you talking
It was
about?
such art. It
I mean,
is.
she had,
I mean, those are still some of my favorite pictures of me with Serena. Just so
she had better profile pictures than most people her age.
cute.
And cover photos.
Yes, they're very dramatic.
Yes, I was into the drama.
I also like could not get my legs that high. So, like, it's just kind of like I was taking a long step.
I'm gonna go look at them all. I had a whole folder that's frolicking.
Yeah, it was just frolicking. Yeah, but no,
There's a whole album on Facebook. Frolicking.
There is. As someone who frequently looks through your guys' Facebook photos to find photos for our thumbnails.
Oh.
Yes.
Don't look at those.
Oh, Serena.
Oh, no.
You were so
Uh,
cute.
What was your favorite Australian vacation, Mom?
Well, probably Uluru, which I know you girls didn't go to. Sorry.
The one without the kids.
But I think because you could really feel the Aboriginal culture there. And so it was nice to get the bare bones Australia, and it was just very beautiful there. It was, you think it's the desert, but it's like so much more. And we took a guided tour where we walked the base of the rock, and which is like 8 miles around, but they have different stories, like different parts of the rock and different carvings or different pieces of the rock look like different things or mean different things. And the Aboriginal culture, especially, they had all kinds of stories that went along with it because it's a phenomenon, having the monolith like that. And it's just so beautiful and so incredibly dark at night that the sky is just loaded and loaded with stars. And we did a star where they, come and tell you all about the stars and what you can see in the galaxies. And it was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah.
probably helps that you had your best friend who was visiting from the US with you too.
Yes, that was nice.
Mhm.
I do remember when we were at Kangaroo Island in Australia, probably the most touching part of it was when we were on that walk at night with the guide and he pointed out the Southern Cross and stars.
Yeah. I always looked for that when I was in South Africa. That
And we
constellation.
didn't really know what to look for when we had got there. Plus we were in Sydney, so
Yeah. Her
It was
I
hard.
remember on that walk, we were like 2 hours south of Adelaide, and I remember the guide pointing out, like, you see that like light in the distance, that's the light pollution from Adelaide. And I was like, that's 2 hours away. And you can see
Mm.
And it's
that blew my
and
mind.
it's one of the smaller of the cities. I mean, it's certainly not as big as Sydney. How about Hong Kong, girls? What you think?
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
One, I liked our hotel day without the parents, but I didn't like that you
But
guys.
we just sat in the hotel room.
Well, it was a nice break,
I
but
was sick.
Mom and Dad were supposed to go to Monaco, which is like casinos and stuff. So I was just like not interested.
Monaco.
But they didn't end up going there.
Macau.
And then I felt like I really missed out.
We're supposed to go to Macau, but we decided we didn't
Macau.
want to leave you in a foreign
Not
country.
Monaco.
and
Wrong
be in another
continent.
country.
Wrong continent.
Yeah, and we stayed in the hotel because I had gotten sick, and then so
I remember that.
I couldn't leave.
I said
So
I
Tori-
liked the day.
Shut up, McKenna. And I'm saying because, well, I couldn't be left in the hotel room alone. I was only 13, so Tori and McKenna stayed, and Mom and Dad went out and did their own thing.
Well, we did bring back Chinese medicine that cured you, though.
I wouldn't say cured me, but it did something to me. Well, I put it, you squirt it up your nose, and then you just like violently sneeze for like 5 minutes, and it comes out pink because of whatever you spray in. And then you're so tired from sneezing, and now your nose is clear that you get to fall asleep. So yeah, and I used that for the next few years until I ran out. It was great.
Somebody
It was
go back to
wonderful.
Hong Kong so they can get it.
Yeah.
No, I feel like we missed the best day of the trip, but we were also like kind of over it. But
Well, I think we were just eager because we took that trip when we were leaving Australia and moving back to America, and I think we were just eager to get back to America.
to be home, yeah. And
But I'm
I
glad
think
we
we
got to hit
had-
up an international Disney park while we were there.
yeah. I think we had high expectations of what it was going to be. And then we were kind of like, not that it was bad, it just wasn't what we were expecting, I guess. So we were
It was a
kind of
little
like,
disappointing.
yeah.
And maybe that's because Hong Kong isn't traditional China as Chinese people know it and everything. But I mean, I think, I don't know. I think it was good.
And now,
for what it was, and I-
having friends that have lived in Hong Kong, I'm like, man, I wish I had known you before,
yeah.
so I would have known where to go.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So a lot of these trips were involved driving. Like we drove a lot of places long distance. Why did you always choose, or like a lot of the times choose driving over flying with children?
Because someone had to bring all their stuffed animals on vacations. Mom's on her phone. She's just like McKenna.
Sorry.
I did that 2 episodes. We're on 21, okay? Okay, so you obviously have multiple children, and we talked about driving a lot of places, including long distance, like Pennsylvania to Florida and stuff. Why did you choose to drive with multiple children instead of fly?
It is, when you fly, you have to factor in so much time, the time it takes you to get to the airport, be 2 hours ahead, your flight time, the time it takes you to get to, your destination or out of the airport and then to your destination. And so if the trip was under so many hours, it was just better to drive. And then we had our car and all of our stuff. We weren't as limited as we would be if we flew. So a lot of the times we just drove, and besides, Dad and I can drive long distance. We have, always have. So that didn't really bother us.
Yeah.
And you girls were all good in the car. So we couldn't have asked for better kids in the car. I never really had trouble So I know a lot of people have, big issues, but when the portable DVD players came out, that was a really good thing. We just had one where you all watched the same thing, and then eventually, when you got a little bit older, you each got your own little one because they got like super cheap. But I would have snacks, ready to go in the car. I would have little presents or little games and stuff like that that we could do in the car. But you guys were just all really good travelers.
And plus, like a lot of trips, we were camping, so you need to haul all your camping gear. Like when we went to Canada, we camped for not all of it, but most of it.
Anymore.
Yeah, we don't camp anymore. Or Mom doesn't want to camp anymore. She's like, I did it. I'm done.
You're done that.
Yeah. No more.
Dad
Yeah, I
can
think
just
the
go with
last-
us now.
Yeah.
I think the last time I went camping, it was us 3 sisters, Dad, and then our family friend Jordan. And it was in Helen, Georgia. So
That
we,
was
yeah,
the
we
last
just had
time?
to drive like 2 hours away to find a fun little getaway for a few days.
The last time I camped was with Serena when we saw
The
the
armadillos.
armadillos walk
They
right
came-
in front of us.
They came right. It was night, and we were just sitting on the chairs talking in front of the fire, and all these armadillos just it was
Like a
maybe
bunch.
3.
They
all
just all
ran
Where
through.
was that?
Through our campsite, right by us.
We're like, what is that? And then we like saw them in the light.
leprosy.
We're like, oh my god, armadillos! I didn't know they were in Georgia.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, that was fun. And I had seen them on like, I think I went hiking earlier that morning, and I had like turned around and seen them, and I was like, oh my god, what is that? Well, Tori
You should
stayed
look-
studying for her exam.
You should look up pink fairy armadillos.
Oh,
They're cute to look at.
I see a lot of dead ones here. There's a lot of armadillo roadkill.
I see a lot of armadillo roadkill out here
They must
too.
be slow.
They are slow.
they had a con.
I've seen a couple living ones out here though. So
I think the last time.
I once caught an armadillo when I had like a Maymaster class at an ecology site. We had traps out to trap raccoons and possums humanely, and then they would be released. But my trap accidentally caught an armadillo.
Mm.
And
Did
he
you
started when we like the teacher was responsible for like releasing him.
Mhm.
So he like opened like the cage and like the armadillo meandered out, and then he came right to me and then turned direction.
Oh my
I
god.
was like, oh,
Did you
okay.
Did you get
Okay.
leprosy?
No, he didn't touch me.
Armadillos carry. Is it armadillos that carry leprosy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm. Reservoirs.
When I was just up north with Serena, we saw a groundhog. Well, I saw a groundhog on the side of the road. And he was just like, and I was like,
Yeah. Hello. I saw one the other day. I think I saw one.
it's big. I didn't think they were big.
Yeah. I think I saw one on Saturday. We have one that lives near the gym. I just like saw it and I was like,
Does
Oh
he
my
have
God.
a name?
it's like hello.
Did you never see?
Not that one.
Did you never see a person holding Puxatawny Phil? They're big.
Maybe the person was small. I don't know.
Oh, goodness. All right.
Okay.
Any other travel questions?
Well, what was
No, but I
mom's
have
favorite?
my tips.
Well, what was mom's favorite vacation with us?
Yeah.
Or at least in her post-children years. Like maybe you took a vacation without us.
I would say one of my favorite vacations with you guys was Seabrook Island.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did a lot there. We had a lot of time to relax. We got into a routine. You girls played tennis and rode horses, and we went to the beach and we rode bikes and
That's
went
right.
swimming and movie night, and it
Yeah.
was just a lot of fun and a lot of relaxing. And we
And
were
it was
close
nice.
to Charleston, so we went into the city a couple times. And
Yeah. And it was nice that we had like a family friend's place to stay in.
yeah.
And she came to stay with us for a while too. So that was fun.
Yeah, the town. I remember that town being cute. And then, of course, our most recent family vacation, Amelia Island. That was a good trip.
It was good. It was January and it was cold and rainy for a lot of it, but it was a fun time. And
Yeah. It was still warmer than where some of us were coming from.
yeah, well, yes, that's true, Serena.
Yeah, you guys came up to Jekyll for a part of a day.
Yeah.
We have a packed house.
Okay.
Lots of dogs, which was very nice. I like it when all the dogs are together.
I like
And the first trip. Tori, you can go. We both started talking at the same time. Don't McKenna me.
I liked our location for that. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't love the condo itself, but like where it was, like how you could just walk out to the beach and like it was pretty.
Yeah, it was very nice.
And that was the first family vacation where we all brought our boyfriends too.
Ooh.
And we played, what are those games?
Jackpot.
Jackpot games every single night.
Yes.
Every night.
We'll continue that tradition, I'm sure. That
Oh,
was
yeah.
good. Except Nana and Poppy didn't quite get it, but that's
No, that's okay.
they'll learn. But yeah, I still use Mom as my travel agent.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey Mom, I think I want this flight, but see if you can find something better.
Yeah.
Still enjoy it. I like doing that. I like doing that stuff for you guys.
Someday we'll be able to pay your commission.
10% commission.
Oh.
You know, when Dad's retired and we have income. Thanks for finding our flight.
Yeah.
What
I
would
might
you
have
what would
some
you-
for you coming up, Mom. Because we have the marathon in New York City in the fall. So I don't know how I'm going to find a hotel for that.
Well, you need to book your flight right now.
In November?
Yeah.
Yes.
With gas prices, it's only going to get more expensive.
Yeah.
Do they even have flights for that far out available?
Most airlines are 11 months ahead. Some of them are less. Yes. Book it.
I don't even
Okay,
have
now.
my flight booked for Colorado in June.
Victoria.
Oh, God.
What were your tips, McKenna? You had tips.
Okay. I did write a few tips down. Be wary of travel time and budget a little extra time, especially if you have a tendency to be late. Don't be late. I have a tendency to be late, but when it comes to travel, reservations, work, and stuff, I'm on time and early if possible. If you're trying to stick to a budget, paying with cash as much as possible, like as you're spending money, can help with that. You don't have to plan things like to the T. You can leave a little wiggle room, and then any extra stuff that you get done will just be like icing on the cake. That includes at Disney too. Like everyone pick like 1 or 2 attractions that are must-dos, and then anything extra is like, oh, bonus one. If you like to travel overseas, one time when I went to South Africa, I had T-Mobile and we were on one of their Magenta plans, which I think like one of them, the basic one is like their second cheapest plan or something. But you get free unlimited international data and texting. And that was so freaking nice to be able to, because like we were out in the middle of nowhere sometimes, and your phone would just pick up on whichever company signal was strongest wherever you were. But sometimes I was the only one who could communicate with the base back in the town we were in. So that was nice.
Yeah, I have something to little add to that. That was definitely helpful. I went to Montreal back in September, and I was driving with two other friends up there, and I was the only one who had like that internationals included plan. And they didn't, so that was very helpful. And we didn't figure that out until the drive. Like I knew I had it, but they like it didn't even cross their minds. But it was so funny. We're in Canada and it's fine. We start driving, and then it starts talking to us in like kilometers, and we all go, "Oh no!" It was like 60 kilometers per hour, and we were like, "Oh no, what is that?"
Okay, portable charger. Bring a portable charger, maybe two, depending on the number of people in your party. But those are always helpful. Know your children. If you have a child who has the bladder of a squirrel like I did, bring them maybe an extra set of underwear and pants.
Oh my God.
Even if you're going on a 2-hour hike, bring them something a little extra.
No, teach them how to pee in the woods.
Stop it.
Pee in the woods.
Maybe, you drive long distances. Mom and dad eventually learned to get the little toilet paper to go rolls for the car.
Charming to go.
You
Yeah. And
still have one in your car, don't you, McKenna?
No, but I did think about getting one recently.
I think it's in your glove box.
You put one in there? Thank you. And then my last one, if you're flying long distance, try to get a seat in the middle row of seats. You can see like how crowded the flight may be or how packed it might be. So if it looks like it's gonna be fully packed, then I go for aisle seats. Obviously I have to use the restroom a lot. So aisle's easiest for me. But if it's not that crowded of a flight and you're in the middle row, you could have like at least two seats to yourself instead of just your one seat. Like one time when I was flying back from South Africa on an 8-hour flight, I had 4 seats in the middle to myself.
Wait, are you saying the planes when they have like
3
rows
rows
next to the window, 2 walkways, and then a center thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
The center row of seats. Because I had 4 seats to myself. So I could have laid down and slept.
We already talked about this. We know you hit
Yes.
the old lady. Okay.
Yes. I let an old lady sleep there.
Yes. Okay.
Wow. She wasn't traveling for 36 hours by herself.
Okay, McKenna, you already told this story on an episode.
I know, but I'm just saying.
I did.
Row.
I planned my first road trip vacation back in August. I went to California from Colorado and back. It was a lot. It could be very stressful. Just because we wanted to do too much. And you may think, 6 hours, that's not bad. But when you drove 5 hours the day before, it's not the most exciting. So we definitely overstepped, and we wish we had just stayed in, one location for longer rather than trying to hit all of these like iconic places and stuff. And I pre-booked we were camping, so I pre-booked all of our campgrounds, and one of them we never made it to, and one of them we missed a night. And so there were 2 nights where we just slept on the side of the road. But that was really cool. I really actually enjoyed that a lot, and I would do that again. But we did a little too much, and we only had a week. Like we couldn't extend it anymore. Like it was a week and that was it. So
when we did the planning for Ireland, I tried to make each day be about 2 hours of driving, if that. So our longest day, though, we did go around the north, and that was a 4-hour drive that day. But then we stayed where we went for 2 nights. So
yeah. do you think your favorite trip with us? Oh no, we
Oh.
already talked about South Carolina, but
Yeah. Actually, yeah. I mean, I loved Ireland. It was a lot of fun to all be together and
Mhm.
stuff. It was a lot packed into however many days we went though. So
we were in Ireland and you're like, I wish I was in Scotland.
That's the next trip.
I think Ireland was like our last 5 of us family vacation. We argued a lot because we all are grown and we all have different things we like to do. And so it's one thing when you're younger and like you're not planning the trip, you're just going along with it and it's, whatever. But when we're all older and we all know, what we're more comfortable with or what we want to do, and there was a lot of arguing.
Yeah. But I mean, I think had we had a bigger car and we're more well rested and well fed, we wouldn't have been as cranky.
Oh my God, that is something. I don't know if we told Mom this, but so when we're on vacation, we don't like eat lunch. We just make sure we eat a big breakfast and then we have a good dinner that night and everything. And lunch is just like snacks, that we pick up and whatever. And so when we were at when we were at Amelia Island, I forget who said this. It was either Kevin or Nick. They looked at Tori and I and they were like, does your family eat lunch?
well, it was Nick because Tori came up to me and said, "Do you know Nick's wondering if we ever eat lunch?" And you need to feed this kid. So I was like, oh, okay. Let's go to lunch, guys.
And then he is used to eating a lot. And then like when we would have dinners, because there were so many of us, there weren't any leftovers. And I think he was really suffering.
Because he would be polite and take a normal helping, but then there wouldn't be any to take a second helping later.
That's why the mac and cheese night was very good for him. He had
Look
plenty.
how much extra food we had though in the fridge. Come on, he should have got something.
I don't know. It's also like weird. He didn't buy it.
Yeah, I know.
But
oh, poor Nick. I'll be sure to have plenty when he comes in.
All he needs is rice.
Perfect.
We're still using the leftover frozen bag of corn for our box turtles.
Oh, there
It's
you
the
go.
good corn.
But that's when we made eggs Benedict pizza. I will forever do that for the rest of my life.
That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like we tend to skip lunch because it's a cost that we can cut out. Yeah. But I do think we get hangry because then we like don't eat dinner till like 8 p.m. Well, like in Ireland, we weren't eating dinner then till like 8 p.m. and it was just like we had 12 hours of no meal, and we were just
I don't get hangry because I have my snack.
McKenna, you got hangry. Everyone got hangry.
I did get hangry though. Yeah.
We were also
4 meals plus a lot of snacks.
We were also dehydrated, and that
everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was fine. We had fun.
And we always had a big breakfast, always. So like
and it was like later in the morning too, not like 8 a.m.
Oh, we had those full English breakfasts in Northern Ireland. Just all
talking about McKenna, it was 8 a.m.
I love breakfast.
Not later in the morning.
10 a.m.
Mom had us out the door 7:30 every day.
Well, on the day I planned, we didn't leave till 11 a.m.
on the day I planned lunch, and Mom got upset.
Wait, are you talking about Ireland?
Yeah,
I was talking about Amelia Island having later breakfast.
The fairy day.
Oh, I remember that.
The fairy garden.
Yeah. Like, we have to eat now. We're going to have dinner.
I do. Yes, Mom was angry. Oh my God, I remember that because it was that cute little like cafe.
Yeah, and there was a birthday party.
Did we eat there? I don't think we ate there.
Yeah,
I think you got some pastries or something.
It wasn't anything big. Like we split a salad and some
quiche or something like that.
Oh my God, that was so funny. Oh, yeah.
And we had like tea and coffee or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a tip if you want to use this to close. It's probably the most meaningful tip you're ever going to get.
Oh,
So-
thanks for sticking around, guys.
Whatever you enjoy the most out of life, for me, it's the beach. Move there.
Oh my God.
That's why I live in
period.
Disney World.
Right, right.
Yes.
Yeah,
A
I
month
mean, you
from
can always
now.
do it again if you choose something different, but
Yes.
A month from now, Mom will be living at the beach.
Yeah. Don't just wait till you're retired, especially now that so many people can work from home. Now's the time to go to those remote locations. Or
Yeah.
it's not remote, but it's
Don't,
the office isn't there that
Yeah.
Dad works for. So
yeah. Stop moving to Florida.
also, first of all,
I want to buy a house. Stop moving here.
also, yeah, I think we argued a lot during Ireland, and eventually we all just had to be like, oh my God, can we all just shut up and stop bickering? And then it was peaceful for like the last like 2 days.
Yeah. I mean, overall, it's still one of my favorite trips. So
Yeah.
the fighting did not ruin it. It was just us, me and us.
The part you don't see because we cut it out.
I don't always cut it out.
I cut out the one in the jobs.
It adds character to our show.
Yeah.
I'll
Oh,
cut
well-
it out if it goes on too long, but like I'll leave like the first couple snippets of you just being like, McKenna! What the heck?
Oh yeah. I leave that part in. Yeah, absolutely. That's too much to edit out. We'll make a blooper reel one day of just all of our arguments. But also like if something happens to you on the trip that, you know, and I heard this on a like Try Guys podcast or whatever, and like one of the guys had ruptured his eardrum while they were in Greece. And instead of being like, oh my God, like this sucks, like it ruined my vacation, he just went with it. He did what he could to fix it. And then he had a great rest of his trip and didn't let it like ruin his time. So just don't let something ruin your whole trip.
Yes.
Thank you. Are we doing a quiz?
Yeah, are you guys doing like do they have any Star Wars snacks at Disney Springs for May 4th or Revenge of the 5th?
Probably, but we're not going there. We were gonna try and do the lightsaber meetup tonight, but we decided not.
Oh my God.
I want to
I
go
wanna
to one
go.
though. Yeah.
I want to go.
There's
Can I
like
borrow-
it's just like hundreds of people go to Galaxy's Edge at night and light on their lightsabers. And
How
they
many-
take a bunch of pictures.
Oh, you have to go to Galaxy's Edge. You have to go in the park.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was just like a
In the park.
park in Orlando that everyone. That's why I wanted to go.
To meet up in Galaxy's Edge, and there's just like hundreds of people,
Oh.
and they all bring their lightsabers, and then they take.
That's not what I thought it was. I don't want to go anymore. I thought it was like a Facebook group. That was
It is.
once a month.
I mean, they might meet up other places too. I don't know.
Okay, let's go there. I'd rather do that.
Here we are.
Should I read it?
I will.
Read faster then.
Reading in an understandable speed. Build your perfect cocktail, and we'll tell you where your next vacation should be. I read it how Dad reads picture books.
Oh, okay.
First things first, choose a glass. Margarita glass, cocktail glass, flute, tulip glass, coupe glass, or a jar.
Eh.
I'm gonna choose a
Um,
jar.
I'm
I'll
gonna
go with
choose a coupe.
Flute.
I'm gonna go with margarita. It looks easy to sip.
What'd you say,
I'm
Mom?
going coupe.
Coupe the coupe.
Which, for those of you listening, looks like
A bowl.
what you get a Manhattan in, right?
Very 1920s.
I don't know, but it looks like a little shower.
Sour. Oh, like a sour drink would be in that, I think.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right. Next, choose a base flavor: fruity, citrus, floral, spices, vanilla, or vegetables.
Citrus.
Fruity.
Fruity.
Citrus.
Which distilled liquor will you go with? Tequila, rum, vodka, gin, brandy, whiskey.
Oh, you know, I'm a rum girl, just like Mama.
I'm going whiskey.
Who changed you?
I'm going gin.
I'm gonna go with tequila because vodka makes me sick.
Which syrup are you adding? Simple syrup, honey, orange, grenadine, cinnamon, or agave?
Grenadine.
Agave.
Simple.
Honey.
Choose another alcohol to splash in. Red wine, cider, beer, champagne, white wine, or rosé.
Cider.
Cider.
Champagne.
Cider.
Tori, why do you have so many tabs open?
Don't worry about it.
Are you planning your flight?
Oh, I'm trying to find a place to live. It's even worse. Which fun liquor will give your drink a twist? Coffee liqueur, vermouth, cupcake vodka, chocolate liqueur, chili liqueur, or blue curacao. These will all taste like shit in my drink. My fruity drink does not need coffee, cupcake, or chocolate.
What's
Yeah.
vermouth?
What do you put with
It's like a dry, kind of bitter thing from,
That.
as far as I know.
I'm going with chili.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with chili too. If I was basing a drink around one of these, though, it would be around the chocolate liqueur.
I guess blue curacao. I don't like blue drinks though.
Oh my god.
Don't get
They're
blue
the
curacao.
best.
Mm-mm.
I don't like blue curacao either.
What's your garnish? Mint, lemon rind, an olive, a salted or sugared rim, celery, or an umbrella?
Mint.
Limon?
Oh, say mom.
Mint. Lastly, when are you having this drink? During breakfast, during weekend brunch, during a working lunch, during a night out, during a dinner date, or anytime at home?
Brunch.
Mm,
Dinner date.
During a night out.
What, Mom?
A night out.
All right. I got Anguilla, the Caribbean is where my next vacation should be. Soak up the sun and achieve maximum relaxation at a beautiful luxury resort in Anguilla. You'll definitely feel wealthy and lush while visiting this island.
I got Tulum, Mexico, which we were
Okay.
actually talking about before we started recording.
I got that too.
You'll enjoy exploring the jungle and the Mayan ruins in Tulum before relaxing on its beautiful beaches.
I got Tulum as well, but I don't know why because I picked whiskey.
That's true.
Mom wanted Nashville.
Yeah, I chose rum.
Well, I thought for sure when I picked that glass, it was going to tell me that I should go somewhere like Chile or you know, Argentina or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
So
Fun
me,
little
McKenna,
quiz.
Mom, we gonna go Mexico.
I'm gonna go to the Caribbean.
Okay, goodbye.
Not that far away.
Well, I've already been to Tulum a couple times, so I'm playing the quiz again.
Oh my god. You can go back.
All right.
You can
Thank
plan
you.
a trip for me.
Thank you everyone for tuning in to this week's episode. Do all the things like, rate, review, download, subscribe, comment, all the things. And
Oh, and stay tuned for Serena talking about Yellowstone if you're interested in Yellowstone.
Oh, I forgot we were doing
Another episode.
next week.
and doing my presentation. I already did all the work on it, so I might as well keep presenting it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a sciencey thing. It's not like vacation tips.
It's what would happen if Yellowstone erupted today.
Ooh. All right. Have a good night. And we will catch you next week. Bye.
Bye. girls.
Bye.
No,
Okay.
you don't hang up yet, Mom. Thanks for listening to this week's Long Distance Sisters. Be sure to subscribe for more episodes and leave a good review.
And check out the video version on our YouTube channel.
You can find all of our other social media information in the description.
Talk to you later.
Bye.